Welcome to the channel, folks, and in this video I'm looking at the 7Hz Legato dual dynamic driver in-ear monitors. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So yeah, the Legato, interesting IEM indeed. The dual driver configuration is one of the less common ones that we see, but let's start with the price, which is $109 US. So it is not exactly a budget IEM, it's kind of in that entry level. Pretty affordable for most people. Inside the box you get this lovely large carrying case. Quite happy with that, and a pretty good selection of ear tips, much better than what we got with the Salnotes Dioko. Obviously you're not going to be sticking this in your jeans pocket, but you know, nevertheless it's nice to have. It's semi-rigid, good protection for your IEMs, and in a lot of cases you can fit your dongle or a small DAP in there as well. Let's have a look at the IEMs, and there they are. So the shells are actually pretty nice. They are a departure, thankfully, from the timeless rounded, you know, circular design. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The timeless is actually a comfortable IEM, as is the Eternal, but I prefer something a little bit more standard like this. The shells are a little bit on the bulky side, I suppose. They do protrude out from your ears a bit, but they are very comfortable. And one thing that I really like is the pattern of concentric rings on the faceplate there means that they're very resistant to fingerprints, which is always a bonus. So we've got standard 0.78mm 2-pin connectors, nice nozzles with a good solid lip so your ear tips don't fall off easily, pretty substantial cover on the nozzles there, and one little vent there on the inside, and 3 just behind the 2-pin sockets. So overall the build is really good. Comfort is pretty good, although the shells are somewhat large. Let's have a look at the cable. It's very brown, but that's not a problem because it's a really nice cable. Actually, it's a good one. So for something around this price range, $109, you get a good cable, you get really nice build, fantastic build quality, and you get a good bunch of accessories. But of course, as always, it's all about the sound, and let's start with throwing up the graph. Whoa, hello bass. Yeah, you've probably heard of this before, but the Legato is a bassy IEM. By the way, I will mention, well, some of you will know this already. Legato is actually a musical term. It means sounds that sort of are fluid and flow together, like which is the opposite of a staccato, which is like a sharp and it's a very fitting, it's a very apt name because these are a very musical IEM. So if you're looking for something that's neutral or really technical, then you can safely move on to the next review. However, if you are a bass head, if you like bass, or if you are someone who enjoys nice velvety tunes with beefy lows, let's get it on. The Legato is a great option for those who prioritize musicality over technical specs, and it is a refreshing change of pace from all that Harman approach that has been dominating the hi-fi IEM market. But let's break it down now, and we will start with the bass, which is not overly technical. It's a little bit pillowy. It's got kind of softened attacks and thick notes in the bass, while on some recordings it can actually be quite overwhelming. Most of the time though, it sounds well balanced and it works really well. Every now and then, depending on the recording again, it'll shake your skull, and it can be a little bit you have to be ready for it. You'll definitely feel the impact of sub-bass notes, which is somewhat akin, I'd say, to rolling thunder in your bones. Despite the bass being the dominant feature here, it doesn't overshadow the mid-range or the treble. 7Hz has effectively utilized both of those dynamic drivers, creating a sound that is coherent with good separation between the bass and the rest of the frequency spectrum. In terms of mid-range, the mid-range of the Legato is rich and it's got a nice chesty sound with male vocals. However, female vocals may lack a little bit of brightness, but the upside is that they never sound shouty or piercing. While the warmth from the bass may carry, well, it does carry over to the mid-range. The mid-range resolution, however, is still good. Overall, the mid-range performance it's really pleasing. It's got a good balance and clarity between the vocal ranges, and you will be surprised at how resolving and detailed the mids actually are, despite that very exuberant bass. And then for the treble, the lower treble is lifted a little bit more than usual, and that is done to sort of create a balance, to something to counterbalance the intensity of that big bass. Additionally, it provides some snappiness to percussion and instruments as well, so the overall sound, particularly the mid-range, doesn't sound dark, and you do get some crispness in the transients. Despite that heavy dip above 10 kilohertz as well, the treble extension is good enough. There's plenty of air there. It's not a stifled kind of treble. It's pretty airy and lively. And although the level of detail isn't exceptional, it's actually pretty good. And one positive aspect of that, of the treble tuning, I mean, is there's absolutely no sibilance. There's no harshness in the treble at all, but it is still gives a feeling of spaciousness, plenty of liveliness. It does provide enough clarity in the mid-range as well. And then in terms of soundstage and technical performance, the soundstage is actually pretty good. It's not exceptionally wide, but it excels in depth and layering. There's also a good sense of perceived height on the stage. And surprisingly, like I said, the resolution and instrument separation are really good. While the imaging is not exactly, I wouldn't say it's pinpoint precise, but Legato's resolving abilities provide fairly strong positional cues. So not pinpoint precise or exactly 3D holographic, but honestly, the imaging is pretty good. Now, normally I would throw in a couple of comparisons here, but honestly, in recent times, the Legato is just so different from all the stuff that we've been getting lately. This is like a tribute to 5 or 6 years ago when Chi-Fi IEMs were all advertising fever bass, you know what I'm saying? It was when bass was celebrated. Nowadays it's kind of frowned upon because everyone says, oh, it's muddy, it smears the mid-range, it covers the mid-range. But come on, bass is fun, man, and some people just love it. To sum it up, the 7Hz Legato is a bass head IEM, yes it is, but it does bass in a really good way. It's quite technically proficient, it's a lot of fun. It is very musical, it's engaging. I actually enjoy these a lot. So I'm going to give these my recommendation. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Parfam audio file style. Check down below for my affiliate links and all links to my social media channels. If you're new here to the channel and you want to see more audio related content in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.